All right. Okay. 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 And oh.
Recording in progress.
All righty. I'm about to say Shabbat Shalom, but greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful night? What's up, G1? How you doing? How you doing, bro? You wouldn't believe I'm just getting started?
Bird, wow, that's perfect timing, peace.
Yeah, yeah. You doing good tonight?
Yeah, man, doing a bunch of things, man. I'm all right though. Yeah, how you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Finally got everything set up. I actually I finally have one of my components free because the other computer I'm doing YouTube on that one. I'm doing YouTube live on that one, and I'm doing on the main computer on the new computer is what we're on right now for the Zoom.
And so I do autofocus. It like just move back and forth like that.
Yeah, yep, and it's touchscreen too.
Wow, yeah, nice.
That's on point, ain't it?
Yeah, it looks good. It definitely looks good. I see that it's like you said, it's picking up where you moving, so it's moving in, zooming out. That's nice. I like that feature, man.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Hey, it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing.
And you can hear me good now, right?
Clear as day.
Yeah.
Clear as day. Yep, bro. And I'm thankful, bro, for real.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm glad that that brother was able to provide like that. Give up, you know, a lot of people, man, they so tight and just things be. I understand it's hard, but man, when people be generous like that, man, that's beautiful, man.
It really is, bro. It really is. And I know what? I'm thankful, bro. I am thankful. I thank the creator. I thank the brother. I thank everything that's going on. I'm thankful for everything that is happening, bro.
I know he smiled, happy to see that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You see
Yep.
them, yeah. Because when people give like that, man, they do it out of the kindness of their heart. They just want to see people, you know, be happy and have things that they need. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree, bro, man. I'm just thankful, bro, man. It just cause when we all trying to work and do what we doing, like I'm trying to handle business here at the house and stuff like that. I don't ask nobody for nothing, but I think what it is that the people are really appreciating the fact that excuse me, the fact that that the information that we be sharing is real, bro, for real. And my baby, she do a lot of good work, man. I had to give my baby props. My baby, she work hard. That's my administrator. You
Yeah,
know.
they got the camera going, right? She was the one who ended up getting it going, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I
that's
mean, I'm talking on the paperwork. No, no. What it was, we ended up finding out. I took the Best Buy today. Looked at it. I said, now look real good. It's like a little switch that just opened up the portal to the camera. Opened up. I like, dang. The guy said, he
like a
said,
little shutter, like a shutter.
right. Guy said it happens all the time. Say this ain't the first, and you won't be the last. This happens all the time.
It was something so simple though, right?
Exactly. We never just looked that close to it because I got to Best Buy and I put it down. I said, man, I said, can you help me with my camera? And I said, I said it's this little orange part up here, and I look real close, and I seen this little lever say slip. I said, dang, all this time. But hey,
That's when you want to be private and you want to make sure it's not spying on you or like you know what I mean.
yep, yep.
You know what? I don't know why I didn't think about that either. Yeah, that's like you said, man. That's good. You learned. I bet it made him feel good. And he was probably one of the easiest questions he had all that day.
Yeah, he seen it. I found it myself. I was like, okay, yeah, man. I felt kind of stupid because I just didn't look that close. I said, okay, I see now, so it's good. And he said a lot of older folks come in here because they go through the same thing, and that's understandable because a lot of people are not prone to the computers. So what's up? What you think about the game tonight, bro?
Oh, you know what? I'm not really into football like that, but
Me neither.
I was surprised to see is that the Patriots they are after only after a few years they came back to the Super Bowl even without Tom Brady. You know, usually like Michael Jordan, like when you got a dynasty team like that, and they lose their star player and the coach ain't there no more either.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you don't got one of the winningest coaches of all time, Bill Belichick, and you don't got, you know, the winningest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady no more, and only after 2-3 years of having to adjust to that and be right back to the Super Bowl, like that's pretty good. You know, like once the Bulls lost Jordan, they went back to they've been gone forever. Like they ain't been a good team since. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So I was shocked to see that. I was thinking about putting some money on this game, but I just didn't know enough about the teams, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because just without me knowing that, I was leaning towards the Patriots, thinking they were gonna set them up for a win, but they getting beat pretty bad. Not bad, but like lightly. They ain't scoring. They just finally scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter. So, but Seattle, they've been scoring field goals. They just kept hitting field goal. Then they got a touchdown. So they got a little, lead on them. But it's now kind of could have been a game for the Patriots, but they waited way too late to try to play this game. So it looked like Seattle gonna win. I wish I was out there where they playing at. They out there in Cali. It looks nice and shit. The weather's all nice over here, man. It's like the current is below zero type shit. Yeah, so they out there in San Francisco, and it looks pretty warm, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and then I seen Bad Bunny, he did the halftime show. He's from Puerto Rico. Like, the whole halftime show looked like they set the whole island of Puerto Rico on the field, and they, like, showed you, like, the lifestyle. It was like a movie of them basically showing you the culture, how they live down there in Puerto Rico. He did the whole halftime show. You can tell they put a lot of money into the halftime show, man, just for all of the props and people they had. Yeah, so I've been checking out a few of the commercials too. They had some pretty good commercials, stuff like that. So that's the main reason I watch it, is just because of the commercials.
Yeah, I didn't even a couple of the students that I had that's in my sermon class. They was out of town. They had made it back, I think, today or yesterday, and they were saying they was going to the. That's how I knew about it. Matter of fact, I forgot about it really because, excuse me, Joanne was just sharing with me about the couple that we just talking about a couple of our students, about them going to the game. Then she said Super Bowl. I said, "Oh, Super Bowl tonight." That goes to show you how much I didn't even know the Super Bowl was going on. That goes to show you how much I pay attention to it.
Yeah, you know what? The only reason I knew, because I was supposed to have a meeting today out in Brooklyn, but and they said the last time we met is that it would be on the same day as the Super Bowl, and that it's gonna be a watch party after the meeting. But I decided not to leave the house because it was just too cold, so I didn't even go outside. It's just below zero. I wasn't really feeling it, and I'm not into it like that. I figure if I do want to check it out, I just sit in the comfort of my home, and you know what I'm saying, like that, man, and just relax. But yeah, I was doing a bunch of things. I was messing with my computer, doing some stuff on my phone. I got like 3. I'm like you right now. I got 2 phones going. I got my iPad on. I'm looking at like 5 different screens. You know what I mean?
Yep.
9 o'clock, I realized it was 9 something. I'm like, oh no, I gotta. Mikael probably thinking I'm probably watching the Super Bowl.
Bro, I was shocked. I was just, that's why when you came on, I'm just getting on because I was running around. I did some things for my mother, got in. I'm trying to get this new computer put up. I tried to see what I could do with the other computer. Got on YouTube Live on that one. Had to set my other 2 phones up. Now I got a free phone in case I need to look up something. So now I got a phone that's free. So everything comes into its own point. But now that my Zoom is now it can be totally clear now. It's gonna be totally clear. So hey, I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful all the way around. Even though that I really don't use the other one, it still can be used to at least record, for YouTube live.
No, it's always good to have that. That computer brought you this far, so don't be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, it still worked. Hey, see, I ain't throwing it away.
Don't forget about what brought you here, you know what I mean? Like, don't forget about the things that got you to where you are.
Exactly.
Computer and it did the job and it always took care of you. But like I was gonna say now with this new one, maybe you could get the chat. Remember how we were trying to get the chat where you could still do the chat in the Zoom
Yep.
without the chat? Did you ever figure out how to?
I think we did with the other one, but I definitely can get it with this one now because this got every. I think we did find out what I had to do because they what we was going in it to use it, or I was either giving them the co-host to get into it, but either one way or the other, I was getting into it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's good, man. Like you said, you start off the new year for things, for you know what I mean, new things. Yeah, I'm glad you held off on buying it too. Cause see, that would have been like,
Extra money that have been not gonna say wasted, it'd have been used, but stuff that I need to use for stuff now.
yeah. So now you can like, you know what I'm saying? You can
Yep.
put that money to something else that you've been needing since you saved out on the computer. You
Yep.
know, that money into something else. Now you can, you know what I mean? So
Yes, sir. Know what? We got off the conversation. Let me go ahead and do a prayer real quick, and we go ahead and get. We just even though we just conversating. Let me always start with a prayer. Now, we started off. You came in and we started going from there. Let me start off with a prayer, give credit his props. We thank him for everything. Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father to our tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep your arms of protection around us. Help us in every way. Allow us to walk in your way. Keep your word, keep your way, and let's retain the knowledge that you have given us so we will know and to do the things that's needed. We ask you to keep us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. And also, Father, forgive us of the sins of the things that we have done in time past, today's time, and time to come. And also the sins of our ancestors and our forefathers that we have transgressed against you, and you've also transgressed against us. Forgive us of these things, and also lift. We ask you to lift the spirit of deep sleep from us that we may awaken to your glorious light. In your holy word and all these things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Praise your mighty. Thank you, Father. All right. All right. Got to give the creator his praise. Got to do that. I'm thankful for everything that happened because I see things as they unfold and as they happen. And, bruh, the classes is growing. The sermon classes, man, we got several people that's made it in their office now, in their private office. We got about four to five people that's in their office now. So that's the whole point. They just got to finish putting some people on notice, but other than that, they're in their office and it's going good.
yeah, man, you said this was going. You know, you predicted all of this. You said this is, what you wanted to do. So, like you said, you are accomplishing the mission and putting in the work and growing.
It's got to happen. It's the momentum. Everything is with consistency. You know, everything is what we do is with consistency.
Well,
And
yeah, we something. You're gonna definitely grow and you'll see results and you'll get those rewards. Because you stuck with it and in time. It takes time. A lot of people they fall off because they can't. They want instant results. If they don't see stuff instantly, they kind of just give up.
that's right.
You know what I mean? But because you've been staying true, like you say, I don't care if only one person or I'm doing my job, y'all.
Right. I got brother Robert Craig, one of our brothers that's indexed. He said, who cares? All the sports are fake anyway. Too much gambling on the games. Hey, I've been stopped watching. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, Craig, Robert. I'm with you on that.
There was a guy that ran out onto the field. There was a little scuffle. They had to come and get him. I wonder did he bet on because they got the betting thing now where like they got a thing where like you can bet on daily events and stuff. Like is somebody gonna streak the field? Will somebody have to get taken off the field?
Really?
Yeah, like and I wonder like I know there's been things said like where people will make a bet like that and then go and run out onto the field so they get the bet and cash out, like, you know what I mean? Because the odds on it might be like crazy, 1,000,000 to 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy.
Did that guy, was that a bet tonight? Because he sure enough came out onto the field. You know what I mean? What are the odds that somebody gonna run out on the field on Super Bowl? You know what I mean? If people make a bet on that and it actually happened, then you pay.
That sounded like it was playing to me.
And that's why I said you can play. It's worth taking getting arrested and banned from the NFL. Like shit, if you gonna make a million, you know what I'm saying? Like
shoot.
Or you make the bet and your friend go and do it. You know what I mean? Y'all at the game.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It ain't that important to me, boy. I look at the games being there we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
You know, funny man, I've been wearing the Seattle Mariners hat all now, it's one of my favorite hats. It's my Seattle Mariners hat. I love that little S with the compass on it. It's like the navigational compass. But yeah, I was wearing it like, in 25, that was like a hat, one of my favorite hats I would love to wear. And so I was thinking, Seattle, I was leaning towards Seattle, even though I don't know much about it, just because of that hat I was wearing. You know what I mean? That's what went. But I was thinking, my mind was thinking, my heart was with Seattle, but my mind was thinking they're going to pull it off for the Patriots to get another one and make them look like they this great team. But I see they not. They actually losing this game. It is Seattle is going to win.
Yeah.
Most called my father was going to joke with him and tell him bet the whole house. Put the whole house on the game, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even participate. I look at the games today as the gladiators. The games today is the gladiators of yesterday.
Yeah, man, Coliseums, they inside of big ass arenas. You got the fans, they cheer. It's like two teams battling. Football is definitely gladiators because look how they playing. They tackling each other.
Yeah.
Ball, you know what I'm saying? You know what? And what's crazy? Indians. I got to do more research on this, but I just was hearing some about the quarterback. The Indians created this, something to do with that. The natives. They just got a interception. But yeah, the natives. I got to look into this. But yeah, like quarterbacks. Quarterbacks is something that the actual natives. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Talking about it. But yeah, man, I'm more into the NBA, you know what I'm saying, than anything. I like basketball. Well, I've always liked sports. I'm a guy, I'm a male. I'm a man, and most men, they're into some sort of sports, but I lean into basketball a lot more than football. I just never liked the rough. And even when it comes to playing in high school and elementary, we used to play two-hand touch outside, you know what I'm saying? In the playground during elementary and stuff like that.
Or flag when you grab the flag or the towel off of them.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. You know what I'm saying? But all of that tackling and getting hit up, like I wasn't really attracted to the fact you could get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, man, I was good when I was young. When I was young, but I was good, boy. They used to call me when Jim Brown was hot. They used to call me. I used to outrun my blockers and outrun the team, and I used to run touchdowns. That's when we was young.
Yeah, right? Man. Thing on during recess, playing football. That was all because we didn't have basketball courts at my elementary school. We didn't have no outside. We didn't have basketball courts. So we would play football though. You know what I mean? A lot of times, you get picked. That was the thing. Pick me, put me on the team, put me. You want to get picked up, but a lot of times I wasn't one of the guys that a lot of guys would always pass to. You know what I'm saying? But I had my moments when we play outside.
Yeah, I like dodgeball when I was young. In elementary school, we used to play dodgeball. I was good. I catch the ball and I was good at dodging. And when I used to play tag when we was little. And since we talking about the games, when I think about when we were small, when I used to play tag, they couldn't catch me. Boy, I'd be in the corner, I'd dodge, and I'd be gone. I used to be good.
Yeah, I'm trying to look this thing up, but it's saying that it ain't got nothing to do with it. But where I got this whole idea from is from in the movie. Did you watch that movie, Him?
Nope, I heard of it.
Yeah, it's got Marlon Wayans. It's about it's like it's kind of satanic. It's talking about like it's got a plot, you know what I mean? But like it's showing you some reality. But they use a football team and like it's deep. But he brings up the Native Indians and quarterbacking. So I was like, yo, I need to do more research. But right now I'm asking you, don't say nothing about this. But it sounded like they was doing some hidden history that I had never heard before. So
That's in a lot of movies. A lot of movies they do that. Put a lot of knowledge in there that be over people's head. Some people just look at it as entertainment, but they put information there that people need to know or should know.
yeah, I don't see it. It said native peoples across North America played their own traditional ball games. Played it says the Lenape in Delaware played a game called Passcode, similar in some ways to soccer. What's it say about? Let's see. Yeah, I don't really see anything about that, man. Yeah, played it up, but yeah, man. This is like a holiday. I don't know. So many people they into like the Super Bowl that ain't even, you know what I mean? Like, there's just something about this day, man. Everybody wants to participate with the, again, with that Roman, you know what I'm saying? The whole Roman games and just they're low key participating in something that they don't really have the full history of.
Exactly. A lot of them don't have honest. What I come to realize, everything in this world is under the Roman Empire. Everything, I mean, whether if it's something that they've made up or they've taken on another culture and taken it and made it a part of their empire.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. I come to understand on that on the whole level. When it talked about in Daniel chapter 2, verse 39 and 40, the last two kingdoms, when you said and the third kingdom of brass shall take rule over the whole earth, and then the iron is going to take up after that, and then over there, that's in Daniel 2, 39 and 40, and then also in Daniel chapter 7, 23 to 25, says that the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom over the whole earth. People don't even pay that no attention. And we're still living that today, and people don't even understand that everything we do, especially people are into these games, they don't even realize that they're worshiping the gladiators and the Roman Empire. All the way down to the money, the little the coin and the images on the dollar bill. A lot of people worshiping it and don't even realize it.
Nah, fact, bro. Yeah, man. Even this company that I was just doing that project for, I told you that ended with them. Guess what the name of the company is? Now I was through an agency, like an agency that they kind of like they hire workers through the agencies instead of sometimes if you don't work directly for them.
Right.
Company,
I got you. I mean, yeah, I know. I understand. Was it temp agency?
yeah, it's like basically it's not a temp agency, but yeah, they basically because they put you on projects that you may end up getting hired on into the actual company, but
Right.
not work on the projects that they have simply like you said until the project is over with. So it's kind of like temporary, like you said, work or whatever like that.
Yep.
But yeah, the name of the company, Maximus.
Maximus. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're a large U.S.-based government service corporation, and they provide outsourced administrative services, for like Medicaid, Medicare, unemployment benefits, public health, different call centers for government agencies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man, and a lot of people don't like this. They're a shady company as far as like they're not for the people, but that name, Maximus. It deals with gladiators.
Exactly.
The his name was Maximus. You know what I'm saying?
I remember.
They supposed to great.
Matter of fact, that's who Constantine was fighting at the battle before he saw a flaming cross in the sky and said, "By this sign thou shalt conquer." Constantine saw a flaming cross in the sky. That's where he got the symbol of the cross for to be the symbol for Christianity. A lot of people don't know that. The symbol of Christianity is the cross. It's a whole lot that people don't know because they don't do the research.
Nah, that's what it's about, man. Like you said, you gotta add on to what you know. You know what I mean? Every day you gotta try to keep building on top of, taking the time. Like like you said, we might know a little bit of something, and then we gotta go into that little, take that little one step and walk further with it in order to get, more mileage out of the subject or whatever it is to get further along into it so that, like you said, we can have more insight into it and more understanding from us just, taking the time to walk through it slowly and really try to, when we identify these things and go further into it, you know what I mean, to really get an understanding versus like we just want to be kind of given the information. A lot of people, they just want to be they think they can just watch a video or hear somebody say it,
Yep.
take it on the value of whatever this person's saying. Oh wow.
That's a whole lot more. That's why people got to dig. The more they dig, they'll find out. And then but they have to have an open mind because a lot of people, the problem today is people have been taught stuff and they take what they've been taught without doing the research behind it to find out more information behind it.
No, that's like me and my brother, man. We used to say, my brother knowledge, man, back in like '08. We used to, before I hear this term a lot now, and I'm glad to hear more people caught on to it. But back then, this was a phrase that you could say to a lot of people, and they wouldn't understand it. Do your due diligence.
Right.
We were studying, getting into all of the different ways to get free. You know what I'm saying? We was doing our due diligence. You know what I'm saying? And now you hear, now this is like a common term even amongst, just the average common person.
Right. Cause yeah, I remember hearing that back in the day too.
But back then, this was like a thing that like only people who were studying law do with due diligence. What does that? That's that word diligence was even. But now, 2026, that's a word that even, the babies can understand what that means now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do your homework, do your research, do what the necessary steps of doing your own studies. You know what I mean? So that you can really see what's going on.
Right.
Expect everybody to hand you all of the information. You know what I mean? Because that's the one thing the rich thrive on is information. Like they can all have riches, but the one thing that sets them apart from the next rich man is having some sort of like information that even the stockbrokers, like insider trading. If you can, the people that do the housing collapse in always speaking in 2008, the guys that capitalized off the betting against the housing, shorting the mortgage-backed securities, they bet against it that they would collapse. But who would think that all these people would not be able to pay their mortgage? And they made a bet. Speaking of bets, what I mean, they bet against the housing market that it would collapse, and they were ahead of the game by like they was knowing, seeing the signs of the collapse in 2006. There's a movie on it called The Short. It's based off a book that the guy it's all based off the true story. The people who profited off of that housing crisis. They had to bail out all those banks and everything. They bailed out the car companies and without that the whole shit would have collapsed then. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, because these banks were just creating derivatives, these straight derivative mortgage-backed securities that wasn't, you know what I mean, stable, and it all collapsed. But the guys who were smart enough to see, they had the insight, you know what I mean, to where they was making bets against it, like 2 years in advance, and then when they finally all crumbled in '08, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people went under. The banks, you know what I mean? Bankers, people lost a lot. You know what I mean? People was losing their houses. This was affecting the whole economy of the world. You know what I mean? But that just shows you the power of information versus how it can save you. Like you said, my people die for lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, just not knowing something can really, you know, hurt you. You know what I mean? Like,
Since you were speaking about 2008, I remember when I was in Atlanta. A lot of people have lost their jobs. I wasn't working. I was actually the only thing I was doing at that time. I think I was doing banquet serving, but I was doing that and I was doing my alkaline water and teas.
that's funny. I used to do that too through Motor City Casino. I was a banker.
Yep, I worked there too. I worked there when I made it back here. I worked at Motor City Casino as well.
Yeah, I love that job. That was an easy job. All we did was half the time. All we did was break down tables and chairs, and we gotta wait for the event to be over. That was a good job. If I ever was to come back to Detroit, I definitely would. That's what I was doing when I left. I was working there with the when I
Banquet
left.
serving is always open. You always get a job doing that.
Oh no, yeah, I actually got hired into Motor City through the agency I used to work for called SMS.
I work for them.
Yeah, I figure you did. They was the major one. They was sending everybody to the Marriott Hotel or Motor City, but I
That's
always worked
right.
for Motor City. You know what I'm saying? But I was so good, them guys brought me in, and I ended up actually working directly with Motor City Casino, like straight for them. And when I left, when the pandemic hit, they shut down the casino, they shut down the hospital. That's when I left.
Mm.
Jobs. I was working for Henry Ford Hospital, and I was working at Motor City Casino. Yeah, I was working real hard, good, we were making a lot of money, but then all of that slowed up.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, man, but like I was saying, man, intelligence don't cost, it don't always pay, but stupidity will always cost you. You know what I'm saying? For real,
That's
man.
a fact.
I mean,
Some people.
intelligence costs you a lot. All you gotta do is pay attention. You know what I'm saying? If you just pay attention to the signs and things that's going on around you and try to make sense of it and do some research, like you said, that will save you from having to pay the cost of being ignorant and being stupid to something and blind to it. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, not knowing the ledge, that's when you fall off the edge. You don't know the ledge, you will fall off the edge. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people fall victim because they don't know enough.
And a lot of people don't want to learn, don't want to know no more than what they know. So that some people, I think a person that actually have the knowledge or have the time to want to hear, to do the research, to find out the information that they don't know, these are the ones who gain, because that's what happened with me. But like you said in 2008, when I was in 2008, matter of fact, I think that's when I lost my book on 20 to 40 42 laws, 48 or 42 laws of power. Excuse me, I was on the bus. I think I left that book on the bus, leaving the unemployment office just to get some funds because it was owed to me. But I remember seeing a lot of people come to the unemployment office, and about I really didn't even know it was as bad as it was until I really heard about it. But a lot of people was going through a certain situation at that time in 2008. I was like, man, I was living in it, but it didn't affect me.
Yeah, man, we was. You know what? I was fortunate enough to not make a move. They was giving out so many mortgages. It was called what was it called? It's called like they had an acronym for it. Was it they basically was giving out loan mortgages without even checking your background if you had a job or nothing.
Mm.
place and they gave me a thing for $125,000. I could have went and got a house with it. But it's like, I wasn't really working to pay no note. And then once they call in that the whole thing collapses and your mortgage rates change up, I would have lost the house probably trying to. My cousin lost a house like that. I
Mm.
mean, one of the people that went to one of these mortgage loan places, they give you they was just giving it to you without seeing if you had the ability to really pay for it. She went and got a house and all that, and ended up having to walk away from it. I wasn't really super close with her. Otherwise, I could have showed her the produce the note thing, because that was around the same time that I helped my homeboy with the produce the note, so he could keep his. He got his house free and clear, right over there on Grand River and Joy Road.
Mm.
But yeah, he thought he was gonna have to walk away from it. I told him, man, don't leave that house. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I showed him how to keep it and everything like that. But yeah, man, it's all about knowing. You know what I mean? You gotta know these things. People don't know, and they get you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You take a L, you take a loss, just from not knowing.
But that's fact though.
But yeah, all this is bet. It's not really wrong with making a bet. It's all speculation. You have to make life is a gamble. Everything is a risk. Everything is an opportunity cost risk. You giving up one, because life is the pursuit of happiness, and happiness is just fortune. Being able to, seek fortune in opportunity. You know what I mean? But every time you go to do something, you're giving up the opportunity somewhere else. So it's like that's a risk that you take. Like they say, is it better for me to stay in the house today or come out the house? Everything is a gamble. You know what I mean? So it's like, but you got to make educated, wise decisions based on, you look at stockbrokers, they invest in certain companies. That's nothing but a bet. You know what I mean? They bet on this. Oh, we see that this is going this. We know all of this information. We see that government is moving into this. They're gonna need these type of things. So it's best to go into this company because of this. We see that the times is, you know what I'm saying. So they're gonna make a lot of, So it's like people who had the insight like myself. I knew about Bitcoin was gonna get. I remember when Bitcoin was $100. Me and the same brother. We would listen to Alex Jones. I remember they would advertise a commercial. You could get bitcoins for $10. Then it went to $100. Then it went to the price of gold. Then it got to 10,000, 20, 50, $100,000 for one Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And nobody. When I was telling people to get into this, I didn't have no money. I wish I would. I was super struggled out when it was even when it was $100. You know what I mean? But like by the time I could get into it, it was really like the price of it had reached the price of gold an ounce, $1,300. Even now, silver coins. Me and Brother Knowledge, we was getting the silver coins because we knew that fiat was nothing. We knew that fiat paper dollars is backed by zero.
You're right.
It has no value, right? You know, so we was getting into the silver coins, learning that all of the silver dollar coins before, the year is made of pure silver. You know what I mean? And they equal to almost a troy ounce. Yeah, we was getting the coins for like what, 8, 9, 10, $11. Now 1 ounce of silver, I think it hit the high not too long ago. It was like 100 something dollars, 115, 130. Some cases charging a premium, almost $150 for an ounce now. So it's like just imagine if you've been stacking up your silver coins since '08. How much money now you got? Each coin that you paid at $8 for an ounce of silver. Now those coins are 100 and almost $150. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, just like being able to see the future, having a projection to see that 5 years ahead, 3 years ahead, 2 years, 10 years. Like an investor. You know what I mean? But a lot of people they instant gratification. They don't if they can't get instant. They don't like I was saying to you, staying true and sticking to something.
That means they're not consistent.
Exactly. You know what I mean? If you can't stay consistent with something, you know what I mean? You need the quick fix. Everything got to be quick and easy. Quick and easy. You know what I mean? You want it to be a quick flip today. You know what I mean? Most people, that's how they wire. Their brains are wired for quick hit. They want a quick hit. A quick come up, a lottery ticket, a quick scratch off. So, they want to quickly go from nothing to something. But yeah, it takes time to really get somewhere. Important. You got to put in the time and the patience and the effort to keep going, even on a rainy day, to not get faith, to keep holding on. You know what I mean? Like I remember Bitcoin crashed down. It went all the way up and it crashed all the way down. You know what I mean? You got to be able to still hold on. You know what I mean? And say, you know what? I know this is still going up. This is just it's like all things. They kind of go up, they go down. That's the ebb and flow of life. They go up, they go down, they come back around. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta hang in there, man. And I understand a lot of times it's circumstances that force people to not think logically. You know what I mean? They go ahead and they make a move based off of the circumstances or just emotions due to the circumstances. You know what I mean? They're not clearly separating the time from the thought. You know what I mean? So there's and like what they call it in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You make a decision that was rash. You know what I mean? Or hasty. You know what I mean? And then you look back and say, damn it, I should have just. Why didn't I just, you know what I mean? Hang on a little more. If I'd have just kept sticking with this, I would be. You kind of switch gears instead of staying true. You keep trying too many things instead of just sticking true to one thing. That'll get you further than just kind of keep. It's like a saying, if you want the pot to boil, you can't keep taking it off the hot. You know what I'm saying? You gotta leave it on there.
Now, while you're saying that, that reminds me of two different things, or two things rather. One thing is I call it momentum, like what you just said. Always look at, like, when you start something. If you got like a pot of water, or a bowl of water, or a tub of water, and you take a stick, it's stagnant first. It's just sitting there. When you put that stick in, once you start spinning, the momentum have to start. Once that momentum starts, now it starts to spin. Once that momentum starts to spin, now you start getting, I wouldn't say friction, but the momentum is starting to turn. And now you're getting a whirlpool. That's the momentum that you start once you stick the stick in. I look at that when you start a job, anything that anyone do. Once you start something, you be consistent. That's another thing, consistency. Like me, the fact that where I'm at now in my alkaline water, my teas, like you was asking me the other day, like me and my teas and stuff, it's out there. A lot of people know about them, and there's certain things that you have to do strategically, especially in the position that I'm in, being sovereign, and compared to where I was and how big it had gotten in the stores I was in, then it came down because of certain situations. Now I know how to put them back in, but I'll make sure that I can be strategic when I do it this time. So understanding that and knowing the difference, and the key is being consistent at everything you do. No matter whatever it is you're consistent at, something's gonna come out of it. They used to give me that when I was in Atlanta. When I used to be around, I was up and down and around town making sales with my alkaline water and alkaline teas everywhere. Like you also said, rain, snow. When I'm out there and they see me coming, hey man, you still out here? Man, shoot, I wouldn't. I said, man, it's got to be done. You got to get out here and make it happen. So the more you consistent, the people will see and understand you for your consistency. Then they will understand your integrity as well. Just no different than I do this. I'm on each night when I come on. I may get on just a little later than usual, just like I did tonight. It was like after about 9:30 when I got on tonight. But I was trying to get this computer set up and all my other situations set up. And now I got this YouTube Live, and now I'm using that for the other computer, and I'm still using the new computer, laptop that is for Zoom, which I think we're gonna go ahead and get ready to end part one right now. But I'm glad you had a conversation, bro. I really testing tonight because when my wife told me that Super Bowl was that everybody I didn't even know Super Bowl was going on today. When my wife told me Super Bowl was going on, she said, ain't nobody may not come. Everybody's game. I said, what game? She said Super Bowl. I said, oh, okay. I didn't even know. Go to show how much I pay attention. I'm not even to the games at all.
Just finished. Seattle just won the championship. This is their second championship
Oh, really?
in history. Yeah, the team's history. They've only that team has only ever won it one other time. Uh,
That was a few years ago, wasn't it?
yeah, that was with the guy. What they call him, Beast or something, Monster. I forgot his name, man. Marshall. What was his name? I can't think of his name right now, man. Yeah, but he was on that team.
I remember because I think what's his name? Cam Newton. He was on not the Jaguars. Was it the Jaguars? Cam Newton was on the team. That's the year that they won. That's the year that Seattle won. Cam Newton was on the other team, and they blazed, huh?
I think that was when he played for what, Carolina or something like that.
Uh I don't remember because like I said, I'm not reading the sports, but I remember I was in Mississippi at the time because my sister, she had like she had a sports store. She was selling sports regalia, like jerseys, and she's a Dallas fiend. She's crazy for Dallas, but that's when Seattle won. That's the first time they won when Seattle and I forgot their name. I think they had the Black Cat or the Jaguars. I forgot their name. I don't know. I forgot their name, but that's when Cam Newton was on that team. I remember that's the first time Seattle won, and this the second time I guess they done won.
Yeah, yeah, man. So like you said, chances to make champions, man. You got to stay consistent. You know what I mean? That's how you become a champion. You got to keep that consistency going. You know what I mean? Like you said, momentum.
That's
Yeah,
it.
works two ways. So you keep that momentum going in the wrong direction, and it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Take you out of it.
There you go.
I mean, so you got to put in good momentum.
Yep, momentum and consistency. That's the key. Yep. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna pause this, or should I say, pause it on Zoom, and we're gonna end it for YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for right now. Then we'll come back and talk some more about consistency and momentum. That we're probably gonna call it tonight. Consistency of meaning things that we do mainly, whatever it is, as long as you're consistent in it, it's gonna happen. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's gonna be a good part for part two. So let me go ahead and pause you, my bro, over here on Zoom. My brother G1, me and my brother G1 having a conversation. But over here on YouTube, my brother Craig, I'm gonna read what he said again. He said, my brother Robert Craig said he's one of my brothers that's indexed. Who cares? Who cares? All the sports are fake anyway. Too much gambling on the games. I've been stopped watching. Yep, and I understand. I didn't even know those games going on tonight, or whenever. I didn't even know. My wife reminded me while we sitting up here talking. So everyone, we'll be right back with part two. This is the end of part one. I'm gonna call this tonight since we, just having a conversation. But we'll call this consistency and momentum because this is what we need. We talking about little stuff in the past, 2008, things that happened at that time. This is just something that people can think back on. So we're gonna pause it real quick and G1, I'm gonna pause you and gonna say bye to everybody else. We're gonna start part two. Other than that, I like to say, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be, waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. Excuse me. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. Just sharing the information at this moment in time. Always be consistent, and with momentum, everything will start to come to pass. Because you got to put momentum in the consistency with what you're doing. So we'll be right back. We'll pause over here on Zoom. Be right back, G1. Want to pause you out.
Recording stopped.
All right. And over here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Just wanted to share with you. Don't forget, you see something for a second. I can end it. I want to know if I can pause it. If I can pause you too, it'd be great. I don't know if I can pause you over here. So nope, I don't have a pause button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end you in a few moments. But what I want to share with Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, um, that on Tuesdays that we have introduction to solving class of knowledge. We have two classes that day. We have on the mornings we have the 7:30 start at 7:30 a.m. on Zoom only, and we have it at night after Tuesday, which is that night at 9 p.m. That's our second class. So if you're working early, you can get on late. If you're working late, you can get on early. And what I ask people to do, send me your name, text me your name, number, and email. And after you text me your name, number, and email, I will put your email in my Google Voice. And if you don't have a Google Voice calendar, please download it. And then once I put you in the calendar, put you in my calendar. It's gonna come up in your email. You're gonna accept my dates, which is Sabbath, Assembly of the Righteous tonight, which is Fight Fire with Truth, Open Conversation. Um, Mondays is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. And then on Tuesdays, which is we have the two, which is Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge. What you'll do is you'll accept the invites for those, and then from that point on, I'll send you information if you're interested in an introduction class. Always put in there as well that you like to have more knowledge about that class, so I'll know that that's exactly what you want. Then you'll be in. Then from that point on, you come to class. I'm also going to send you an NDA. The NDA is because some people are taking information and they're mixing information, and this isn't to be mixed. We give you a foundation and information on how to take it, how to do it, and then prosper in that point. But it's up to you to take it that way, and it's up to you to defile the information by mixing it up. So that's all be your choice. But that's why we have everyone sign an NDA, and then we go from there. So other than that, if you text me at 770-572-5315, that's 770-572-5315. I can go ahead and start that process on my end. You'll get it in your email, and then we can go from there. So that's Introduction to Solving Class for Knowledge and all the rest of my Zoom classes as well. You'll be able to have all the information there in your Google Calendar. Other than that, you can also email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Excuse me. Excuse me. Now, if you'd like to get on any of the platforms where you can catch us at or just become a part of the platforms that I'm on, the platform I'm on, or should I say, is my YouTube and my formerly known as Twitter. X, formerly known as Twitter, and also my YouTube is Juice Pro 33. That's JuicePro 33. JUICEPRO33. Put that in the search engine, and then like, subscribe, and share if you don't mind. So, also, you can connect with me on Facebook. My Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is spelled MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. Again, that's MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. That's my Facebook page. Now my Instagram and one of my TikToks is Lakaim underscore the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM at gmail.com. That's LKHYYM underscore the juice. My bad, I said at gmail.com. Again, that Instagram and one of my TikToks is LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. That's Lakaim underscore the juice, which again is LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. That's my Instagram and one of my TikToks. My other TikTok and my other YouTube. My other TikTok and my other YouTube is under Michael the Juice Harris, which is all one word together, all one word, which is spelled MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Again, excuse me, MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. There's Michael the Juice Harris. For my other YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share, and also my other TikTok. Now, if you want to see the full and long version, which is I'll be converting from I'll be converting from Zoom onto Rumble and Patreon.com. There's Rumble.com and Patreon.com /LKHYYM. That's Rumble.com and Patreon.com /LKHYYM. Now, for my platforms on Zoom, if you're interested on connecting with us on those and the nights that we're on Zoom on somebody's out there running in the snow. Sorry about that, y'all. We're on Zoom on the Sabbath, which is Saturdays, as they call it, on the Sabbath at noon, the end of the morning, beginning of the evening, which is at noonday, peak of the day, as the sun begins to go down. We're there at 12 noon on Sunday Eastern time, on the Sabbath Eastern time, 12 noon on the Sabbath Eastern time, which is Saturday. Um, then we're here like we are tonight. We usually come on at 9 p.m. night after Sunday, which is called Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation, which is what me and G1 was having tonight as most people come in. You're welcome to ask questions or say anything that are in the post, and we'll read them off. Excuse me. Or you can just send me your email so you can be part of the family, so you can come in on the links. So other than that, that's Fight Fire with Truth, open conversation on Sundays at 9 p.m. Then on Mondays, night after Monday, shall I say, night after Monday, which is tomorrow night, we have Mikael's Knowledge of Truth at 9 p.m. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then on Tuesday, we have Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. As I was sharing in the beginning, Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. And that way we can connect with you there. But the key is, as we were just sharing, is about being consistent. Being consistent. Momentum and consistency is what we need to be. So other than that, I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye, And first, we're going to say bye over here to Instagram. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening there, your seeing. I will be right back with part two with momentum and consistency. Peace. All right. And over here on Facebook, live. Thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Aliza Love was watching. Thank you for coming through and always. Peace. Excuse me. Let's see how we're going to do this over here on Facebook. Or shall I say YouTube Live. We'll be right back with part two. So that if I could pause you while I do everything else, I would, but I don't think I can. So I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Peace. Let's see how we can do this. Haven't done this over here in a minute. In stream, not yet. Yeah, I'm going to end it.